Okay, so the New York Rangers just dropped Game 3 of the Eastern Conference Finals, 3-2 to the Tampa Bay Lightning, giving up a goal with 40 seconds left on the clock. But this game, you could see it coming from a mile away. The Rangers were absolutely outclassed, outplayed, out everything for the last 30 minutes of this game. Uh, I felt coming into these two games down in Florida, the Rangers had to win one of the two and go back to Madison Square Garden with a 3-1 lead and a chance to clinch the series. They still have that, but they really had a chance to take a stranglehold on the series. And the bottom line is they failed. They failed to do their job. So what did we notice in this game? The Rangers really came out well. They played a good road period. It was very, very tight back and forth. Each team had their fair share of scoring chances, but they never really allowed Tampa Bay to dictate the play, to spend extended time in the New York Rangers zone. Nikita Kucherov takes a bad high sticking penalty at one point. They couldn't take advantage of it. Shesterkin makes an amazing breakaway save on Kucherov as well. Igor was on his game today. He was looking really, really good. Victor Hedman, I thought, played a much better game. He was one of the players that I kind of called out on Tampa Bay. I felt he was not playing as well as he was capable of, and he was everywhere. He was blocking shots. He was breaking up passes. There was an odd man rush in the middle of the third period that he broke up, which could have been a pretty fantastic scoring opportunity. So it looks like Hedman is back in the series and he's ready to play. Tyler Mott, fantastic job by the Rangers' fourth line forward. He's just a little pug, man. He's tenacious. He's always there, always looking to poke the stick, break up a play, and he did that several times. You never get a lack of effort from Tyler Mott. It never seems like he's skating in slow motion. Unfortunately, I can't say that about every skater on the Rangers team today. So in the second period, there was no score in the first period, and right away it had a bad omen. Ryan Strome got cross-checked and had to leave the game. So the Rangers had to play the last two periods a man down. Uh, then Corey Perry starts doing what he does, interfering with the goalie. And actually, both him and Riley Nash took goalie interference penalties, one right after another, and the Rangers capitalized on both. Mika Zibanejad with the first power play goal, Chris Kreider with the second on very soft coverage. And there's about 10-15 or so left to go in the second period, and I'm feeling pretty confident at this point. Now I knew Tampa Bay had one more surge in them. I didn't expect that they would completely take the game over right at that point. So before long, Jacob Trouba takes his first of three penalties on the day, and Kucherov scores, and all of a sudden it's a 2-1 game, and you knew this was going to be a struggle the rest of the way. And it got fun for a little while. There was some back and forth action. Each team had really good scoring chances. Both goalies were up to the task. Both Vasilevsky and Shesterkin. Shesterkin made an amazing save on Nick Paul right in front of the net, which helped keep the game 2-1. But going into that, towards the end of the third period, it was like Tampa Bay's kind of starting to take this game over. They need to they got to play it the way they need to, the way they've been playing most of the series, and they can get through this even if they are one forward down. Well, it didn't happen. Trouba, almost immediately on his first shift of the period, takes another penalty, and Steven Stamkos ties it less than a minute and a half into the period. So it was 2-2, and it was feeling inevitable. The Rangers it felt like they were on spaghetti legs at that point, and all of a sudden, fatigue for the first time in the playoffs started to set in. Their passes were off the mark. The puck is bouncing over this guy's stick, over that guy's stick. They were doing everything but hitting the post and the crossbar. They weren't getting opportunities quite that good. And it really felt like the Rangers needed some kind of a break, some time of kind of dumb luck to get that pivotal third goal. And without Strome, they had to shift the lines around. I don't think these lines had any chemistry. At one point, Philip Hedl was playing on the fourth line with the fourth liners with Ryan Reeves and Tyler Mott, and it just did not look good. So then Frank Vetrano takes a goalie interference penalty. He had no room, but that was called. These referees were calling just about everything. And even though Tampa Bay did not score, it turned out to be a pivotal play in the game. Because on that Tampa Bay power play off a one-timer, off a slap shot, Barclay Goodrow, who the Rangers brought over from Tampa before this season, they gave this guy a 6-year contract, and he's basically a depth forward. Because he does these little things. He kills penalties. He scores big goals. He takes face-offs. He's that player who's supposed to teach you how to win. Well, he blocks the shot, and it was obvious by the look on his face that he was in agony. He's missed most of the playoffs to this point anyway, and he was absolute the worst for wear. He could barely skate off the ice. The Rangers did kill that penalty off, but all of a sudden they were down to 10 forwards. Goodrow did come back later in the game. Strome did not, but Goodrow was not skating at full strength. It's going to be very interesting to see if he does play Game 4 on Tuesday night. And I'm pretty sure Strome will not, based off the fact that he did not return to this game, so that probably means that Kevin Rooney will be back. And then Goodrow would probably slide up to the second spot, the second line center position if he was healthy, but I don't know if he has it in him right now. That's something we're going to have to find out. And so then if he's out, who are we talking about? Dryden Hunt? We got to bring him back? Please. I can't deal with it. But the Rangers did get one more opportunity. A double minor, Kucherov, high sticks, Mika Zibanejad with 9 minutes left. They had a double minor, a 4-minute power play. And after scoring 2 power play goals, even though they were missing Ryan Strome, who does play on that first power play unit, it felt like they had to really take advantage on that power play, or they were probably not going to win that game. Well, at one point, Alex Killorn takes the puck away, and he's about to get a breakaway, and Trouba trips him up for penalty number 3 of the game. And that basically negated 2 minutes of that double minor. And, in the last 5 minutes, I remember thinking to myself, maybe they just need to reset. Maybe the Rangers just have to get to the locker room, reset, get a little pep talk, do something, but they got to get to overtime, because even though I didn't feel great about their chances in overtime, it felt like they were hanging on in regulation. And sure enough, with 40 seconds left, it is, I believe, it's Hedman to Kucherov, who does a blind pass behind his back to Andre Palat, who went from the faceoff circle, who one times it past Shesterkin, and that was all she wrote. Even with 40 seconds left, you knew it was over. TV went right off, and all of a sudden we have a series. Rangers had a chance to take what would have all been an insurmountable 3-0 series lead, and they couldn't do it. So it is a rather deflating defeat, but you got to come back, win Game 4. My biggest concern right now is what are the status of Ryan Strome and Barclay Goodrow, and can they go in this next game? Because all of a sudden now, Tampa's got their confidence. They won this game. They know how to win these games. And now all of a sudden they're going to feel they're going to have their mojo. They're going to have it. So let's see what Gerard Gallant has to say. Let's see what he does. Let's see how these lineups change. It's going to be very interesting. We know there's not going to be any official injury announcements. We know that's not going to happen. The Rangers don't do that. The NHL doesn't do that. I'm actually impressed nowadays when they even say it's a body injury. Upper body, lower body is like you're basically giving away secrets from the government. So that's pretty much all I've got at this point. As I speak, the Mets are playing the Dodgers right now, trailing 2-1. We'll see what happens there. Trevor Williams doing what he can. But at least Tyler McGill's on his way back pretty soon. We knew this would not be a very easy series going into LA, but then comes San Diego, and then comes a Anaheim team that is cold as can be. They have now lost 11 straight games. So maybe the back part of the California trip is not looking quite as brutal as we had thought. All right, I will talk to you guys later. If you like the content, please like and subscribe. Tell a friend about it. Share it with somebody, and I'll talk to you soon.